You're watching ABC 7 News at 4, starting with First Alert Weather.
And good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with your First Alert Weather update. Storms have been around. They're still lingering in places. And it looks as though we're going to stay in this pattern, too, right through the holiday weekend. We're going to talk more about that. And also the tropics starting to act up. It looks like we are going to see a pretty good chance for a named storm to develop within the next 24 hours. Get a look again at the tower cam here showing some clouds and showers moving on through this afternoon. Lakewood Ranch webcam indicating that the storms are still around right now. We are hearing some rumble of thunder here in downtown Sarasota with some heavy rainfall. You can see that line, the first one, has moved offshore, and that continues to head off to the northwest. Now there's still a few lingering across the land. You can see that activity right there in downtown Sarasota, spreading off toward Longboat Key right now. Also a storm over Bradenton. A couple of lightning strikes well to the east of that heavy rain, so keep an eye on that. Also, the rainfall is lessening somewhat, but still pretty heavy in Fruitville as well as Main Street in downtown Sarasota along US 41. Then out in Longboat Key, Harbor Drive, getting some pretty hefty rainfall currently. As far as this goes, looks like we're not going to see as much lingering through the evening hours. We'll still see a few popping up here and there, but most of the heavy weather is now offshore and pushing away from the coast. Now, as far as the forecast goes, you can see one or two storms popping up here and there up until about the 9 o'clock hour. Then most of it moving off into the Gulf of Mexico. We'll see more storms developing tomorrow. We're also watching this area here. The National Hurricane Center now has its sights set on this tropical wave. They're giving it a 10% chance developing over the next 4 or 5 days now as it heads off to the northwest. One thing it will do, it will bring us an increase in rainfall. We'll let you know the timing of that coming up in just a few minutes. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you so much. Now to our top stories. We head into the Labor Day weekend. There is some encouraging news on red tide.
ABC 7's Taylor Torregano is live at Siesta Village with an update on our beaches in terms of discolored water, dead fish, and of course that smell that comes with them. Taylor, what can you tell us?
Good evening, Jacqueline, Scott. It's a lot quieter than usual here at Siesta Village, but I think part of that can be attributed to this rain. The good news is there's no smell of dead fish lingering in the air, and as far as respiratory irritation, I'm not feeling any, and I've been here for about 3 hours now. There's no fish lining the coast, but the waters are still this murky red color. This is a look at Siesta Beach water from earlier today. I spoke with the businesses here at the village. They say typically this place would already be packed with thousands of visitors for Labor Day weekend. To help get customers in here, some of these places are kicking off great deals this weekend. One of them is right here at the Hub and the Cottage. Both restaurants are offering buy one, get one free appetizers and drinks all day, every day, Labor Day weekend and until further notice. Now, I spoke with the owners of 4 restaurants and bars here at Siesta Village. All of them are reporting impacts. They say that they've already seen impacts and they're expecting even more for this holiday weekend. Hear from them about the 50% decrease in sales coming up at 6. I'm reporting live from Siesta Village. Taylor Torregano, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Taylor, thank you so much. As red tide continues to kill fish, the FWC is taking action. The state agency now calling for a temporary catch and release period for snook and redfish. The area included in the order goes from the northernmost point of Anna Maria Island in Manatee County south to Collier County. The advisory will be in effect until September 26th. Other regulations outside of that area remain unchanged, including the September 1st snook season opening that occurs in other Gulf and Atlantic state waters. Jacqueline joins us now with an update on a Tampa mother who's accused of letting her daughter drown. Jacqueline.
Yeah, Scott, a hearing has now been scheduled to determine whether a Tampa mother accused of letting her 4-year-old daughter drown in the Hillsborough River is fit to stand trial. Investigators say earlier this month, 26-year-old Shakayla Denson stole a car from an auto repair shop. She drove to the Hillsborough River, waded into the water with her daughter, and then left her to drown. Witnesses report hearing the child scream. Denson is now charged with first-degree felony murder, aggravated child abuse, and grand theft auto. 2 doctors have been assigned to rule on Denson's competency. A hearing has been scheduled for October 24th. The restaurant and bar in Jacksonville, where a deadly shooting took place last weekend, is no longer open. A city code violation report says that restaurant, Chicago Pizza, did not have a permit to hold the Madden NFL 19 tournament. On Sunday afternoon, 24-year-old former champion gamer David Katz of Baltimore opened fire inside that restaurant, killing 2 people and injuring nearly a dozen others before killing himself. Meanwhile, the city of Jacksonville held a vigil last night to honor the 2 people who were killed and injured in that shooting. People sang, prayed, and listened to remarks by pastors from several churches in the area. There was also praise for police and first responders who handled that crisis. The race for the next governor of Florida continues to heat up. The Democratic nominee, Andrew Gillum, responding to his opponent on CNN, calling his comment a tactic straight from President Donald Trump's playbook. The GOP nominee, Ron DeSantis, however, is defending his comments after making what many deem a racist comment about his opponent during an interview. Here's what DeSantis had to say on Fox News.
The last thing we need to do is to monkey this up by trying to embrace a socialist agenda.
Andrew Gillum, Tallahassee's mayor, is the first African American to win the Democratic nomination for governor here in Florida, but DeSantis says his comment had nothing to do with race. Nearly 3.6 million Floridians cast ballots during this week's primary election. Just 4 years ago, turnout was just over 2 million. Overall, 27% of eligible voters went to the polls. Republicans and Democrats alike say voter interest was extremely high for the 2018 midterm election, with spikes in participation happening in GOP strongholds like in Sarasota and heavily Democratic counties. A memorial service happening today at a church in Phoenix celebrating the life of late Senator John McCain. He died on Saturday at the age of 81 after a year-long battle with brain cancer. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is at that church with how McCain is being remembered.
The final day in Arizona for the state's 6th-term Senator John McCain. After lying in state yesterday, his casket traveling from the Arizona Capitol building to today's funeral.
John McCain believed in our Constitution, and he stood up for it. He fought for it every step of the way. So he would not stand by as people tried to trample the Constitution.
McCain himself planning the details of this week's services, asking former political opponent and close friend, former Vice President Joe Biden, to deliver the eulogy. Arizona Cardinals wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald speaking today as well.
I'm going to do the best I can and trying to honor him for the wonderful man he is. It's just about him and what he's meant to this nation, what he's meant to me.
This following an emotional day, the family starting to say their goodbyes on what would have been McCain's 82nd birthday.
Loving God, see our tears.
15,000 people waited for hours in the triple-digit heat to pause by the flag-draped casket of a leader and war hero who served the country he loved for 6 decades.
He was a true American, fabulous American. And there'll never be another John McCain, ever.
And after today's memorial here, McCain's body will be brought to Washington, D.C. for 2 more days of services before he's laid to rest on Sunday. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Phoenix.
All right, well, let's send it back now to Scott with a hunt that is underway in Palmetto after a home invasion. Scott.
Well, thank you, Jacqueline. After a string of coyote sightings on Longboat Key, people are learning what to do when they see one. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission says coyotes can be found throughout the state, so it's not uncommon to see one here. But they say if you do encounter one, use common sense. Just like with any wild animal, be careful. It could be aggressive. FWC recommends you use something to make a loud noise to try and stop them from getting any closer. And spraying a water hose at coyotes will make them leave as well. Coming up, First Alert traffic advisory, what you need to know about some work being done later next month on Manatee Avenue at the Anna Maria Island Drawbridge. And then 600 new homes planned for an area of Manatee County, why some neighbors are concerned about the traffic along Honore Avenue. And you snooze, you lose. As Labor Day weekend is approaching, the warning state highway safety officials are trying to get across to drivers.
Frances Collier and Angela V. Shelton have been best friends for 19 years.
Actually, it's 21 years. Well, who's count?
Taking America by storm, this comedy duo decided to call themselves Frangela.
Well, actually, people can never tell us apart. Like, I'm a foot taller.
They're the host of a new kind of daytime talk that's all about you.
I'm in.
Meet Time with Frangela. Premieres September 10th.
Oh, he sounds cute. My friend is single.
Meet Time. planning a Carnival Fantasy cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Clogged pores are disgusting. Introducing DermaSuction, the easy way to suck that yuck out of your pores. DermaSuction removes blackheads and dirt from your pores. Just look at everything it extracts. The secret's the gentle vacuum action. Watch as DermaSuction extracts so much yuck, leaving your skin feeling clean and youthful.
The gunk that had been pulled out, I was pretty horrified, but better in the DermaSuction than on my face.
It's almost addictive because you can see all this stuff coming out of your skin that you don't even really know is there.
Call now to order your DermaSuction for just $19.99. We'll also include our small and large body probes, the Sonic Microdermabrasion probe, and the handy travel case, all absolutely free. Order now and you can double the offer. Just pay a separate fee. You can get all this, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-213-9301. That's 1-800-213-9301. Or visit dermasuction.com. So call 1-800-213-9301 now.
Attention. On January 1st, 2018, the United States Tax Cut Act officially became law. This law also changes Obamacare. If you are uninsured or struggling to afford your current health insurance, there is now immediate relief. Health insurance that's not high-priced Obamacare is now available. Call the Health Insurance Helpline now. It's free. The cost for health insurance has been a serious problem in America, but now the law has changed. So many people don't get the insurance they need because they just don't call. Don't spend money you don't have to spend. Call now. It's free. If you are uninsured or unable to pay for ACA coverage, call the Health Insurance Helpline now. Get what you deserve. Call to see if you qualify for health care or dental coverage that starts immediately. Don't delay. Call now. It's free. Call 800-307-8167. 800-307-8167. Call 800-307-8167 now.
A development going up off of State Road 70 and east of Lockwood Ridge Road in Manatee County has some neighbors concerned about how that growth will impact area roads. Neighbors say that they originally bought homes in that area because of the peace and quiet. However, with this plot of land now becoming home to 350 more homes, they are worried about the traffic it will bring. The land was purchased by developer Taylor Morrison from the city of Bradenton in 2016 for $10.5 million. Before it was bought, the city planned to use the land to expand the city's reservoir. But the city says that building something on the land benefits them, allowing it to use the proceeds from the infrastructure, such as people paying taxes. Now to First Alert traffic advisory involving a popular bridge on the Suncoast. Starting Sunday, September 16th, the bridge maintenance project will get underway on the Anna Maria Island Drawbridge along Manatee Avenue. Drivers are asked to use caution and expect some possible delays during nighttime hours. FDOT says there will be intermittent lane closures from 9 o'clock each night to 5 o'clock the next morning. Construction is expected to take about a week to complete. As Labor Day weekend approaches, the Florida Department of Highway Safety is reminding drivers to get plenty of rest before hitting the road. To avoid falling asleep at the wheel, don't drive when you would normally be asleep. Get enough rest before you hit the road. Take a break every couple of hours, and if you start to feel tired while driving, pull over in a safe place and take a nap if you can. Also, read the warning information on all medications you take. All right, Jacqueline's in the newsroom now with a look at some of the interesting video just into our newsroom.
That's right, Scott. A huge lizard terrorizing a South Florida family, all caught on camera. Take a look at this video. The lizard you see here is about 7 feet long. It has taken up residence in the backyard of a home in Davie. The family enlisted the help of trappers, dogs, and Florida Fish and Wildlife officers to try and help catch that 7-foot lizard. They've used dead rodents and chicken thighs to try and lure that reptile into traps, but it has avoided capture. The wildlife officers even used a video camera scope to try and check inside the burrow that lizard is living in. Well, this seal's ridiculously cute encounter with a butterfly at the Oregon Zoo may be the best thing I've seen all week. Take a look. The adorable meet and greet was captured by the zoo's dive safety officer. Kaya is a 3-year-old Pacific Arbor seal that's lived at the zoo since 2015. And as you can see, she is quite friendly and very fascinated with butterflies. Well, 2 melon-headed whales are recovering tonight after becoming distressed in shallow waters. As you can see here, teams from the Clearwater Marine Aquarium and Clearwater Fire Rescue used large blue bags to move those whales from the water off of Sand Key to a large marine life rescue truck. Officials say they're not sure what caused the whales to become distressed. They say only low levels of red tide have been detected in the waters off of Clearwater. Now let's send it back to Scott for a look at your consumer news today.
Well, Jacqueline, a new report claims some Hispanic United States citizens along the Texas-Mexico border are being denied passports. The Washington Post reports a growing number of Latinos with birth records from the United States are receiving denials for those passport applications. According to the Post, some are even being detained and entered into deportation proceedings, even though they are U.S. citizens. The issue reportedly stems from a government allegation that babies born in Mexico were issued American birth certificates from the 1950s through the 1990s. Labor Day is the last summer holiday, and it may also be a great time to shop. Mattresses and appliances are Labor Day staples, as well as anything summer-related like clothing, patio furniture, and grills. Experts say now is the best time to buy next summer's swimming gear. But when it comes to electronics, experts suggest you wait for deeper discounts on Black Friday. And don't forget your local small businesses. As red tide keeps many people away, many local stores and restaurants will be offering discounts to bring people in. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan now with our damp forecast from this afternoon. Bob?
Big storms earlier. Most of that action, Scott, you can see is offshore now. There's the line that pushed on through. It's in the Gulf of Mexico, continuing to head off to the northwest. There's not a lot behind it, not like yesterday, but we will still see a few scattered storms popping up here and there in the central portions of the state. You can see that one lone storm that brought some heavy rain to downtown Sarasota. It's gone. It's moving through Longboat Key now, the north end near Whitney Beach and places to the north. Still generating some lightning strikes, but for the most part over the mainland, most of the lightning is over for the time being. We'll have to keep an eye to the sky there. This is the rainfall estimates over the past 5 to 6 days across the Suncoast from the Doppler radar site. And you can see these bullet points with red. That indicates 6 inches plus of rainfall. Now, these are estimates, and you can see the entire area getting at least about an inch of rain. That's the lesser amounts that you see right there. That's about an inch of rainfall, but 6 inches near Venice and Nokomis, again, all the way up into Bradenton, and also along Interstate 75 near State Road 64, 6 inches plus right there. Again, this is over the last week, and we're expecting a lot more rainfall. What that means is the potential for some localized flooding when these storms move in, because the water has nowhere to go, the ground is saturated, and that always spells pretty tough driving conditions across the Suncoast. You can see from the Futurecast indicating a few more isolated storms are possible, but we're not going to see the all-evening rain like we saw last night. Tomorrow we'll start off with some sunshine, and showers and storms are in the mix again. Tomorrow, late afternoon and evening, some of those storms could bring some locally heavy rainfall at times. We are anticipating the possibility of one or two of the high school football games being delayed as a result of those. And then over the weekend, the holiday weekend, we will see a good chance for showers and storms each and every afternoon, and a little bit more so next week due to this right here, which has a 10% chance of developing over the next 5 days. No chance over the next couple of days. So the Hurricane Center now looking at this and watching it. Rather large area of disturbed weather. It's a tropical wave. There's no centralized area of circulation at this point, but it is moving off to the northwest. We'll show you the satellite imagery, enhanced satellite imagery, what's going on today. You can see a rather broad area of low pressure here with heavy storms to the east of Puerto Rico. All this moisture is tracking in our general direction. We'll be on our doorstep on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, and we'll have to keep an eye on it. Right now, the upper level winds are not conducive for development at this point. As far as the European forecast model goes, it looks like it'll be over South Florida on Monday and Tuesday, still bringing us some heavy rainfall, and then moving off toward the west, toward Texas now. It had been going to Louisiana and now off toward Texas as a tropical low, possibly, as it makes its way to the west. There's still a lot of uncertainty with this. We'll keep an eye on it for you. Definitely, this is going to develop. This is Florence coming off the coast of Africa now, and the forecast path and track has it moving off into the north central central Atlantic. So that is a fairly certain 90% chance of it developing into our next named storm as we move through time. Current conditions now at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport. We have some clouds and some showers, but those are starting to wind down now, and temperatures have cooled to 74 degrees. For boaters, it'll be a bit breezy to start things off. East winds at 10 to 15 knots, subsiding 5 to 10 in the afternoon. Seas running right around 2 feet. Now, there'll be a light chop in the afternoon, but a moderate chop in the morning. The extended forecast then calling for, look at that, 60% chances for storms in the afternoon and evening. Mainly, there could be a few morning storms around, but generally in the afternoon and evening. That takes us right through Labor Day and beyond. The rain chance could be rather heavy, too, as far as the rainfall goes on Tuesday and Wednesday. Be sure to go to your app store and download our First Alert Weather app. Just do a search for WWSB First Alert Weather and download it for free and keep it with you throughout the remainder of this hurricane season. And Scott, I must say that we have El Nino creating those strong winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere. That is taking care of these storms right now, but it also means we're going to have some severe weather a little bit more likely in the winter months, so that's a good tool to have for you.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's check out an amazing sight that was caught on camera on Siesta Key this week. Take a look. It's a bolt of lightning on the left side of the screen there. Lightning struck a boat that was docked on a Siesta Key canal.
Shane Cooper says he was outside during the storm on Wednesday. When he got the video, Cooper says he saw plenty of lightning strikes, but this bolt, there it is the only one that got so close, hitting the antenna of the small docked boat. And antenna's tallest object in the boat, that's what they usually go for. Looking back at 1 year ago today, Irma formed into a tropical storm in the Atlantic. And then just 1 day later, it was upgraded to a hurricane.
One we'll never forget. It really doesn't seem like that long ago, but people here and around the state continue to recover. Irma was the strongest Atlantic basin hurricane ever recorded outside of the Gulf and the Caribbean Sea. It did force the evacuation orders for more than 5 million people. As a reminder, there are still 3 months left in this year's hurricane season, so if you don't have a plan in place, get ready now. We have everything you need to know about preparing for a hurricane on our website, mysuncoast.com, including a link to our hour-long Surviving a Hurricane special. Thank you, Bob. Well, how much would you pay for a jacket? Coming up, the coat that has gone viral, drawing the question, why?
I'm Linda Carson from Suncoast View. Coming up tomorrow morning at 9, fall season is approaching, and so are a lot of new lines of arts and crafts for us to try. We'll team up with the Makers Market to see what they're preparing for fall and winter, and we'll learn about their special wood workshops for adults and kids alike. Plus, we'll preview all the great Labor Day events that are planned on the Suncoast. That's coming up tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Another pair of satisfied emotions. Looks to me like elation and maybe some amazement. It's part of the Honda Summer Spectacular event experience. You could say satisfaction comes standard here, just like the Honda Accord comes standard with a luxurious, roomy interior. All at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
We see it all the time.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Accord, 2018's North American Car of the Year.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991. Now, in one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
Now to the coat that's taking the internet by storm. For $9,000, you could buy an entire new wardrobe or this one jacket. This coat creation from fashion house Balenciaga has 7 different colored layers, a compilation of plaid shirts, jersey hoodies, and fleeces, and cuff sleeves, front patch pockets, and a drawstring hood. Matchesfashion.com states the oversized layered parka is ski-themed, but we're thinking you could buy 10 different coats for a lot less and achieve pretty much the same look. Just our thoughts. All right, we're just getting started here on ABC 7. Jacqueline's back in the newsroom with a look at some of the other stories we're working on.
Scott, after several days of storms, people in Venice are voicing their concerns about how excessive rain is causing damage and flooding some area roads. Coming up tonight at 5, we'll take a look at what's being done to prevent as much flooding as possible. Then at 6, we'll hear from businesses on Siesta Village about the red tide impacts they're expecting for this upcoming Labor Day holiday weekend. And at 7, a look at what cannabis oil is, its side effects, and how it's even being used to treat animals. Let's send it back to Bob for a final look at your forecast this hour.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Showers and storms are starting to clear much of Sarasota and Manatee County. Still some light rain lingering, but there are more storms expected scattered about through this evening. If you're going for a beach walk, mostly cloudy skies, and we could see a few isolated thunderstorms developing and working their way in from the land. Sunset tonight, 7:55, and it could be a little bit of there could be a little glimpse of the sun, but a lot of clouds out here, but more than likely obscure most of it. There are these storms that I mentioned starting to pop up. We had a round of showers just moved through downtown Sarasota. Right there it is, and Lakewood Ranch. That is now out into the Gulf of Mexico. A lot of activity out here too. And then these are the storms that are developing down to the southeast. Light rain still lingering. We'll have the complete details and all that coming up in just a few minutes. Scott, back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Thank you for joining us for ABC 7 News at 4. We'll see you again in 30 minutes.